de esta serie de videos. Ay, no me acuerdo qué tenía que hacer ahora, pero la primera parte estuvo muy buena. Fue muy divertido lo de los animales, cómo contaban las cosas leyendo. Así que vamos con esto. Igual, por ahí entré, ¿no? Creo que sí. No sé dónde tengo que ir. Bueno, voy a ver por acá, no me queda otra, creo.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Ah, claro, tengo que ir a buscar la music box. Cierto. Está abajo.
It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
¿Sí, no? O sea, eso pensé cuando mostraron lo de la music box, que tipo... Había escuchado un ruido. Que yo la giré y no salió la cajita, o sea, no salió la llave. Hay que seguir. Ah, claro, porque la soltaba, creo. Ahí está. A ver, esperen 2 segundos que quiero entrar. Sí, a ver si se me ve bien. No estaba viendo mi propio stream, ahora sí. Ok, perfecto. Ahí lo abrí. Ya puedo ver el chat y todo eso, antes no. Bueno, sigamos.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Empecé en el cuarto de Bárbara y simplemente bajé y agarré la caja de música y saqué las llaves. La llave. Que tenía que girar la cosita y nada. La giré.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
Estoy tomando café, así que si me freno a veces es porque estoy tomando.
I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that. I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
30 years. Holy shit.
On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. If you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
Cuando estaba solo
Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel
durante
normal.
un mes al principio de año también hacía
Almost
esto.
friendly.
Abría el durazno y me lo comía.
And then one day, everything just
Holy shit,
Stop.
pasaron un montón de años.
Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid.
No sabemos por qué vino y se encerró acá. Simplemente parece que
It's been a
después
week
de
now, the longest in 30
la
years.
muerte de Bárbara se vino y se encerró acá abajo.
I'm done waiting.
2005, pará,
I have to
2005
leave. Well, I still can.
es cuando se murió. Ahí fue la fecha de su muerte.
I know it's out there, somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Ah, la mierda. Holy shit. Nah, muy bueno.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
Y la madre sabía, tipo... ¿Por qué hacen esas cosas? Qué madre más rara que tenía también igual.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
Ah, tipo tenía una ventana trucha y todo para vivir. ¿No puedo bajar? Ah, sí, ahí está.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding.
Claro, porque literal...
I don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
Ah, ese era su tacho de basura. Ay, por favor.
Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2,
Como maybe two.
I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
una luz allá.
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family.
Ah, ¿ves que está embarazada? Yo sabía, loco. Se lo está escribiendo para su próximo hijo.
And the
¿No?
history you're
No
part
estoy
of.
flasheando. Sí, ¿ves? Ay, Dios. Soy un capo. No, mentira. ¿Y entonces qué? ¿Voy por allá? ¿O me meto al agua? Ah, no me meto al agua, voy por allá.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now.
Claro, está escribiendo para cuando lo lea.
I think the
El
people
pendejo.
in these stories believed them, for what that's worth. And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
Sí, totalmente. Totalmente de acuerdo con vos, Edith. Casa más rara que la mierda.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
Wow, qué creepy.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one.
No.
3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault. Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
No. Claro, cada uno con su cosa. El gato con alas me suena a que Molly se tiró por la ventana, básicamente. Hoy me dio escalofríos. Sven, claro, construyendo, se le cayó el coso encima. Eddie no sabemos todavía. No entiendo qué sería eso. Bárbara, la estrella. Nice.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Ah, en la casa vieja, por eso le pusieron una la luz. A ver dónde estaba. Y hasta acá quedamos, ¿no? Vuelvo.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better. She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone.
Qué loco, ¿por qué se
So
les
many
mueren?
things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
Tipo, que estaban todos locos, que se terminaban muriendo, tenían mala suerte, como dice ella, tipo una curse. No creo, no sé. Medio raro. Quiero, tipo, una explicación, ¿entendés? De por qué carajos se mueren todos así. No puedo... No me voy a conformar con que es
But
mala
looking
suerte.
back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Ve por hacer estas pelotudes y se mueren, boludo.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense.
Quiero explorar un poco el cuarto antes de agarrar el cuadernito con la historia.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it. Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? Please just take the damn picture.
Hey, language.
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
¿A qué le vas a sacar foto?
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though. Aw.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Hold still while I take a picture of you.
Hey!
That's a keeper.
Nothing quite like being outside. I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years.
O sea, que sacarle foto, loco.
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of me.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive...
No.
Great shot, Dawn!
No, boludo, es horrible la foto.
I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
Ah, me tengo que poner. Ah, tengo que
Sorry,
correr.
Dawn. Just gotta reset the timer.
Ah, ya entendí. Qué paja.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Holy shit. Mierda, boludo.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Qué feo. ¿Sabes que no sé por dónde tengo que ir? Se nota, ¿no? Creo que flashé en salir, pero no había nada adentro. Ay, boludo, qué paja. Ah, por esta ventana quizás. No. Voy a subir entonces. Acá. Puta madre.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Ah, estoy jugando con la rana. Qué asco.
Time's over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw. What his world was like. He reminded me so much of him. Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was he saw, it sure made him happy.
Está re loco. Ok.
I know how silly it sounds. But I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him. was slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it.
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw.
No, jodeme que se ahogó solo.
There's so much I don't understand about Gregory,
Holy shit, está muy
about
bueno.
everything. But I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Uff. Me escalofrío, boludo. Tremendo. Claro, tenía un año.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, "We don't need a stepmom," were the words that I
I
read.
now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
¿Dónde están las otras? No estaría encontrando las otras lyrics. La otra parte del poema. Acá. Pasé al lado, boludo.
When the
No lo
time
vi.
for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined and as a sign held up his middle finger. The wind picked up and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder." I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
Fuck.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Wow, me faltan 3 personas. Literal, tipo Milton, Lewis y Eddie. ¿Vas a escalar? Sí, vas a escalar.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Nice, está bueno acá. Re cozy.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay. Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died. My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was born a year later.
Dice missing. ¿Quién está missing? Alton Finch.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that.
Claro, por eso es tan rara la casa, porque la agrandaron mucho.
And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last.
Les daba clases ahí. Claro, les daba clases a ellos ahí en la casa.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Nice. Está buenísimo, tiene un fucking ascensor. Excelente.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Está muy bueno. Me estoy re divirtiendo.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared. Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Ya hace un rato que me está empezando a cerrar mucho más, tipo, quién es quién, etcétera. Está bueno.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Encontró algo. Al principio, cuando lo arranqué ayer, no entendía una mierda. Pero nada, de nada. Uy, qué paja, la puta madre, tengo que dar la vuelta. Ahora sí, bastante. Pero como que ya estoy esperando la explicación.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery. Everyone always told me to stay out of Lewis's room. Except Lewis.
Alto drogón. Ah, no puedo pasar. Ok. ¿Soltás? No, es muy raro. Tipo, tengo que empujar el joystick para adelante para que lo levante hacia atrás. Es medio... no es muy... pero bueno.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Ah, claro, el chabón tenía un aroma faso. Excelente, nada, un gamer, bien ahí.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Bueno, un choto igual. Tenía el teclado gamer y todo con el WASD ahí, pero el chabón era un choto.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to...
Holy shit.
wander.
Ah, estoy manejando esto. Holy shit.
I asked him to describe it.
Estoy haciendo las dos cosas al mismo tiempo, es muy raro.
He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads.
Qué asco, sapos. Tirar eso.
And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss.
Puta madre, sorry. Me da una CB. Ya se pone un poco más complicado,
But he
tipo.
said Lewis had become
disociar.
a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend.
Ah, perrito.
On the edge of a city he named Louis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
Claramente escapando de la realidad del pobre tipo, pero bueno.
And songs for them to play.
Y era el rey de su ciudad.
He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
Che, está muy bueno, me está re
He'd
gustando.
conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality.
Hace rato.
Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery.
Fua.
Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for
Vamos por allá, vamos allá.
sinister serpents.
Que sea más turbio. ¡Woohoo!
He followed the sound of her silver harp.
Era medio raro el otro en ese momento.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound.
Ah, ya no se ve ni la máquina que corta el pescado,
He
boludo.
knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him. that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him. I began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him. His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do.
No, boludo.
Lay down his head. And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Fa, me puso la piel de gallina mal. Uff.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
No, muy bueno. Estoy tipo mind blown. No era por acá. Me encantó, fue literal mi favorita, mi historia favorita.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
Siento que lo que los terminó matando a todos fue su imaginación, claramente. Tipo, eran tan imaginativos que perdían noción de la realidad y se morían.
Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night. That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance, or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around. For a while, I wandered. I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car.
Puta madre.
I never saw Great Grandma Edie again.
No.
The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it, but she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
No. Me quedé con las ganas de saber más de lo que les escribía la abuela. Tipo, siento que por ahí ella los criaba, tipo, hacía un poco mucha imaginación. Y por eso la madre la terminaba culpando de que o sea, culpando de la muerte de todos, básicamente. No sé, no entendí bien por qué. O sea, me quedó medio suelto eso. Obviamente después de esto, sabes cómo voy a agarrar y algún youtuber que explique o que interprete todo. Está buenísimo, me encanta hacer eso. Pero me re gustó. Fue como, o sea, justo estaba pensando cuando la última parte que fue como leer un libro, pero no. Entonces estaba muy bueno. No, al perrito. Sí, mi historia favorita fue claramente la del hermano mayor. Eh, no, la del medio, o sea, la del segundo. Y porque era buenísimo, cómo estaba contado, cómo se lo jugaba, estaba buenísimo. Y no sé cuál otro. Fueron como creciendo las historias, fueron de la menos buena a la más buena, para mí. Claramente fue así. Excepto, bueno, la de la abuela se quedó cortada ahí, qué paja. Me quiero matar, quiero saber qué carajo le quería decir. O sea, ¿por qué? O por ahí la explicación tipo racional y realista es que estaban todos tenían un poco de locura, onda, heredado, como que heredaban todos una enfermedad psicológica que eran medio delusionals, no sé cómo decirlo en español. eh, y, y flasheaban porque estaban enfermos mentalmente y por eso se morían. Para mí algo de eso hay. Claro, se puede volver a jugar cada historia. Qué bueno, me encantó. Este juego lo dieron gratis un mes en PlayStation Plus. Y nunca lo jugué, no sé por qué. Menos mal, así que me sirvió bastante ahora. Muy bueno. Bueno, lo voy a cortar acá. Terminamos el juego, no pensé que lo iba a terminar hoy. Pero nada, qué sé yo. Excelente. Gracias por haberme acompañado en esta aventura. Adiós.